crowd here, but they got the energy of a true Spyro fan. So guys, let's get into a new game here. Would you like to count it down with me? Let's start at 3, 2, 1, go! Spyro! All right, guys, welcome to Spyro 120%. My name's Dayoman. I've been running this game for about 9 years. Oh God, it's been so long, 9 years. 9 hard, arduous years. And after all this time, I can finally say that I have found all the dragons and all the treasure and gotten all the world records that a man could ever ask for in their life. But I still want more, guys. My grind is not over. And you see, well, I just got a 1-second world record the other day, but I'm 2 seconds away from the 120 in 120%. So thank you. So can I get it? We'll just have to see. I might even just get it right now, to be honest with you guys. But maybe if you believe hard enough, if you hype up hard enough, then we can do it together. But
I believe.
Yes, and of course I got Nitrof and Wed on my couch behind me here. Would you guys like to talk a little bit about yourselves?
I'm nitrofski, Nitrof for short. I've been running this game for 9.5 years, just one-upping Dayo here.
Oh,
no big deal.
No.
Also world record holder, but in a different game, Spyro 3, 117%.
I'm Wed SR, Wed for short. I've been running Spyro games since late 2013. Mostly Spyro 3, bit of Spyro 2, not really Spyro 1, but I've been around long enough, I know.
So yeah,
the ins and outs.
So we've all been around since let's say about 2013, and in that time, this game, as well as the entire original Spyro series, has come such a long way. In late 2013, to give you guys a little sense of the progression, the history behind this game, a legendary runner by the name of Tuval found a trick in not only this game, but Spyro 2 and 3 and Super Mario Sunshine as well. What a legend. Called credit skip in this game, which is going to allow us to get past the final boss without activating the unskippable credits and go on to the final level, which houses, of course, the final 120% of the game with a special power-up. So be sure to stick around till the end to see the magic unfold before your eyes. But right now, we're just coming to the end of the first flight level, and I know you're watching this, you're thinking, Dayo, this is really not that interesting of a game. Well, you just hold on to your pants, because this next level and all of the normal movement levels, you could say, are coming up next. You see, Spyro's movement in this game is all controlled by charges, jumps, and flames, essentially. So the way we chain those together is and use sort of frame-perfect flames into a charge, into a glide. The way we do those movements, there's no cooldown between them, so I can flame and perfectly charge out of that. Now, what that allows me to do is actually a really insane strategy where you can force gems to home in when ordinarily they're not supposed to. When you flame an enemy, the gem just pops up into the air, and you would have to jump up and grab it or wait for it to hit the ground. That's slow. We don't want to do slow things. So what we do is we get up nice and close to enemies. Let me see if I can show you on this guy. No, he had a shield. I wasn't ready. But I'll show you on the next few enemies if we can get up to that section. There's a lot of flame charging. A flame followed by a very precise charge that allows gems to home in and adds this whole level of nuance to the movement of the game. Now check this out. There's an unintended jump we're supposed to hit right here. Get down there. You can just see kind of how we're chaining together all the movement in order to make it kind of this beautiful symphony of an otherwise really kind of simplistic sort of movement in this game, and we're about to go for a really cool out of bounds right here. Now, you'll notice all these dragons that I'm collecting here. There are 80 in the game. All you have to do is just press X, and then it sort of skips their dialogue, which, let's be honest, isn't really that interesting. Most of them just say, "Thank you for releasing me." So, real quick, this has always been a dream of mine, now that I'm on the big stage, hi, Mom, is can I get from the crowd, please, a thank you for releasing me? On 3, 1, 2, 3, thank you for releasing me. Thank you, guys. That was a dream of mine. I really appreciate that. Okay. So those are, thank you, guys, really. And so we're basically coming to the end of the first real kind of level of this game. We have a few more in this homeworld. The next one gonna be Stonehill, is gonna have a lot more wide open space and a perfect amount of time to get in some of the initial donations.
Absolutely, and we're seeing a lot of love for you here, Dayo. So we got a $100 donation from Mickey D, who says, "Great to see you at GDQ, Dayo, and best of luck with the run."
Love you, Mickey.
Astral also sends in $25, saying, "Good luck with the run, Dayo."
Thank you. You can keep going. We have plenty of time here.
All right. $100 comes in from TMS LFT saying, good luck and comfiness to Dayo, an awesome Spyro runner and one of the chillest dudes out there. Cute Chat says $5 donation train.
Ooh, cute chat. Can I real quick just tell you guys a little story about my first experience with Spyro at GDQ? It was on Chris LBC's couch back at AGDQ 2020. He was the first run of the event, and there were thousands of people in the audience. It felt like millions of eyes on us. I was wearing a Spyro onesie, which, by the way, shout outs to Fezzi in the crowd with the Spyro onesie, continuing the tradition. Can we get a camera on him real quick? Fezzi, let's go. Anyways. So I was sitting on Chris's couch and I was like nervous out of my mind, right? And essentially, Chris, when me and him looked at the chat after the run and we were like, oh God, they probably ripped us a new one, or they probably hated it all. And all we saw were miles of pages of Twitch chat that said, cute chat with cute little emotes beside them. So in honor of the comfy vibes of this game, some of the nostalgic beauty of it all, I think the whole cute chat envelops everything that I love about this game and everything that makes the community behind it so awesome. So if you love this game, hit your boy with a cute chat. So we're coming up midway through Stone Hill right now. Again, you can see just how much more wide open of a level this is compared to the one we just completed. But we're still using a lot of that flame charging. Right here, how you get the flame and get that gem to home in. Guys, I cannot describe with words how precise that is. Try doing that at home if you have access to this game. It takes, with every gem and every box and every enemy, its own sort of practice and nuance, spacing, and the way you charge and flame and turn. It's really quite an art, and why speedrunning this game is to me is so awesome. Again, you see what's in front of you, it's so simple, but underneath the surface, when you really try to make some of these strategies happen, you realize just how easy it is to get caught up in the sluggish PlayStation era movement. This game came out around the same time as Resident Evil. So, just let that sink in as far as movement mechanics are concerned. So anyways, I want to turn things over a little bit right now to Nitrofski, who has been known to be a tasser. He made an amazing tool-assisted super play of Spyro 3, Spyro Year of the Dragon, 117%. Nitrof, what is your perspective on tassing and the Spyro original series?
Right. As you mentioned, I've already tasked Spyro 3. I've actually started a Spyro 1 any-person task, but that was like, 8 years ago now that I started that. And legend has it, every time someone mentions it, the task is delayed by another year.
So rest in peace a year.
I'm pretty sure more people are mentioning it right now. Probably.
Oh,
Guys, don't mention it. Don't mention it. So yeah, so this game has had like a ton of different tasks since Nitrof. Nitrof and Laponia were pretty much the only people that tasked this game back in the day. But, with the help of a few others. But in recent time, we've seen a lot of really interesting tasks of a miscellaneous category, a kind of an unofficial, real category of this game called Vortex by Waffle Wizard. What a legend. I mean, that task was the first ever run that uses cheats in order to get accepted by task videos, which is really a cool advent and shows how far speedrunning has come from the early days of Speed Demos Archive, from you only got one run that shows on the page, and you got to go through all these like little steps and rules, to showing how much more inclusive of a community it is now, no matter what game you pick. Really, the rules are made by the gamers who play these games, and it's just cool to see speedrunning as a hobby come full circle to that. There is no, as far as I could tell, there is no gatekeeping. There is no like, oh, you have to do it this way. You have to do the main categories, 120%, any percent. Vortex is such a cool category in this game. And if you guys don't mind, I'd kind of like to tell you a little bit about it. Would you guys mind if I told you a little bit about Vortex percent, like what even that is? Yeah, okay, all right. We have some Vortex fans, okay. So Vortex is, you have to enter a cheat code, which I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking cheating, that's terrible. But the reason for it is because look at all the things I have to collect in order to get through the balloonists. Oh, get the dome! Hold on, give me a second, I need to focus.
I'm disappointed.
Nitrof. No.
Oh
no, hold on.
You're gonna hear about this.
Come on. Oh.
First try.
Thank you, first try. Yes. Amazing. Also right there, I just want to point out, I got a little quick kill on the thief. I'll be talking about those as I keep going through it. But let me not get sidetracked here. Vortex is a category where you have to go through every exit level vortex. You see that yellow, you can kind of see it once I turn around here. There's a yellow return home vortex in the distance. Well, if you exit through each and every one of those and complete the final game, you don't have enough requirements to get past the balloonists, which take you to the next homeworld. You see, each of these balloonists have their own set of they need, for example, the first balloonist needs a number 9, the second balloonist needs a number 9 large, the next one needs a number 6 with extra dip, then 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda. Thank you.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all. That's all they require. They don't actually require that. I just wanted to say that.
That for here to go.
Yeah, that was for here especially, yeah. But no, the actual category of vortex. Oh my goodness, hold on.
The save,
hold on. We're entering Toasty from the back because we can't enter it from the front without going through one of those exit level vortexes. So let me continue with explaining this category here. I keep getting so sidetracked because this run is so intense. But when you exit through every exit level vortex and enter in the cheat code, it basically makes for this crazy movement heavy run. That dog that I just destroyed right there, you can actually do a crazy bounce, what we call it a proxy, off of him, which allows you to go fly super high in the air. One of the few really glitchy mechanics in the game is called a proxy, arguably not even a glitch at all. Once we get to them, we'll talk a little bit more about them. There's a couple of select moments in this run where we actually do proxies. Now, you'll notice with these dogs right here, that this one, I make jump off the edge, see his gem home in, and then there's gonna be another one right before this fight right here that I'm gonna be able to get. Let me see if I can show you guys. Pay attention to this dog coming up right here. This is a really cool strategy. So normally you have to flame them twice. Check this out. Oh! And his gem homed in. So I made him jump up into the air and then flamed him again to make him jump a second time. That goes out of the range of what the game considers a safe zone for that dog, and so it triggers a failsafe where it destroys the enemy. Okay, had to be careful there. It's really easy to miss that last gem, but we are finally out of artisans. Just gotta clean up this last bit of the homeworld, and we are gonna be moving on to the second of 6 homeworld hypers in the chat, and we have plenty of time for some donations right now.
All right, we got plenty of them. So I think their ears were ringing because we got a $5 donation from Zirla who says, "Good luck to Deo from all of the Spyro 1 Vortex runners."
Let's go.
Absolutely, and I'm also seeing a little trend here because we got $50 from Anonymous that says, "Thank you for releasing me." We got $5 from Miss Maddie J who says, "Thank you for releasing me," and $25 from Cedric the Dragon that says, Thank you for releasing me.
Any more thank you for releasing me?
Well, you keep them coming if you want.
Oh my God, if you guys really want to give me your power for this run, send me a thank you for releasing me. It's all we can do together. It's all the power you have over this run, let's be honest, but it still helps me, trust. So yeah, we're entering Peacekeepers right now. This, as I mentioned, the second of 6 homeworlds. We're gonna do the first example, well not the first, but we're gonna do something called a wall glide right here. You'll notice when I entered that one level from the back, I kind of glided along the wall. This gets you extra height when normally Spyro would otherwise drop height. So pretty cool it's so simple, right? All these little strategies that I'm doing, they don't require the most magnum brain, thought, compilation of community members figuring out this insane glitch, memory corruption. This game is so beautifully straightforward, and yet with these techniques like flame charges, wall glides, and proxies, as we're gonna see later, that's what adds the real beauty to the nuance and the simplicity of this game. It's a beautiful marriage of those two worlds, I think, but. Another flight level here, and we got the Jammers in Night Flight. I love this song. If you love this song, post a spinning emote in the chat in my honor, please.
If you love the Spyro songs in general, I don't know if you've heard about this, but there's a spin-off of Wordle called Hurdle, and there's even a Spyro variant of that, Spyro Hurdle. So if you like the soundtrack of the original Spyro trilogy, I invite you to try that.
I'll retweet your hurdles, bet. Literally everyone that I follow, they get it first try because everyone knows every song. All right, here's a really tight turn right here. Beautiful, beautiful. Guys, it looks simple, but you have to trust me. I'm using the L2 and R2 buttons to kind of adjust the camera to help make these turns just a little extra sharp. In fact, Nitrof, I wanted to ask you about this. Does using the camera actually make the turns sharper in flight level?
Not at all.
He's shaking his head. He's like, you are full of wrong information, Dale, always. It's funny how you can play a game for so long and still know so little about it. I think that's kind of a beautiful thing.
I even hear a lot of the people saying that D-pad is more responsive for flights.
Yeah.
It's actually the opposite.
Oh, really?
You get instant speed when turning with the analog stick, but the problem is the lag of, physically moving the analog stick is probably more time than, just the lag of the button.
Yeah, and that's like a topic that comes up in a lot of different speedruns, I think, is if you have the option of analog movement, that it makes more sense to use a D-pad, a digital version of going left to right. You could go left to right instantly in the space of one frame using a D-pad. Look at a game like Crash Bandicoot, zigzagging, where you're going like diagonally up, diagonally right. You simply can't do that with an analog stick in the same way that you can with a D-pad. So, yeah, it's an interesting topic, is like, what is the most optimal way to play a game? Is using a digital movement or using analog? And interestingly, a little like kind of wrench thrown into that whole thing is you'd think it would be so clear from the top players. They all use analog or they all use D-pad, but in this game, me and the second place person in this category, I use analog and he uses D-pad. So it goes to show that you can really approach a game however you want. It doesn't, you don't have to do what everyone did before you in order to progress in a game. All you need is time, dedication, and love, a little bit of love. Sprinkle that in there. So yeah, Boris right here, we're gonna go around the back side. Here's one of those parts of the levels where, as a kid, it's kind of like, wait. So you can figure out this part, right? You can fly to this section, but then here's one of like the convoluted late 90s things. Go around, do this blind jump, and here you are. Yes, I'm a legend for figuring that out. Thank you. So yeah, after this, there's not a whole lot too much else in this level. I think I might open it up for another donation or two. Why not? I'm starting to get a little comfortable here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Well, we have just so much left. I can't even talk about how much love there is for you here in the donations here, Dale. But I did want to point out, we have a $120 donation from Anonymous that says $120 for a 120 and 120%.
Yes.
And if you eagle-eyed viewers out there might notice, we are currently $70 away from, you guessed it, $120,000. So let's make that happen. We also had a $10 donation coming from Fat Frogs, who says, "Hey Deo, hope you're having an amazing time at GDQ. Congrats again on the new world record in hugs."
Love you, Froggy. You're the best. Woo! Yeah, some Spyro hype in the chat, guys. I love it. It warms my heart like so much to see that there's still fans of this series, of not just this game, but Crash Bandicoot, Ratchet & Clank. These are games that are gonna see some representation in this marathon. So if you guys are enjoying any of this, if this is reminding you of your childhood, please stick around, because this is only the beginning of it. It's day number 1, y'all, and I'm very excited to see what the future holds. So right there, I did a strategy called the spin jump. In this game, you can you can see I'm like jumping and charging and jumping and charging. Well, for some of the tighter to reach jumps, you have to use the charge mechanic in order to preserve Spyro's horizontal momentum. I know this is getting a little convoluted, but you gotta basically continuous momentum straightways. Instead of dropping it, don't fall. And we're good. Yeah, I wasn't even worried about it. Key? All right, there we go. Sometimes the key trolls you like that. It's a thing. And you'll notice also I'm exiting the level using the pause button. It's basically the exact same thing as exiting out of the return home portal. Once you have all the gems, all the dragons and eggs, then you're good. And those are, if I didn't mention earlier, those are the actual requirements of this game, is eggs, dragons, and thieves. I don't know what that whole big smoke order was about earlier, but that's what the actual requirements are, so yeah. Clifftown, oh my God. This is another one that has a really weird thing at the start. As a casual player, it's like so you wouldn't think, unintuitive is the word that comes to mind. Look at this jump. It's like, who thinks of this stuff? Come on, Insomniac. But yeah, so in this level, there's gonna be a lot of sort of like wall gliding around the edge here, trying to grab these gems out of the air. When you see these gems not homing in, you see them popping into the air, there's an element of RNG. One of the only elements of RNG in this game is the direction that gems fly out when they don't home in. So that's one of the things that really affects my runs at the really nuanced high world record level. I could have had, the other day, I know I'm just projecting my salt here, but I could have had the 120 and 120% 2 days ago if it weren't for some unlucky gem RNG in the final room where a bajillion gems just fly out at you. You have to hope they all land in a good spot. Hopefully I got the red right there. Nitrof, can I get a confirmation whether I got that red?
Looked like you did.
Yeah, thank you. I do that with my chat all the time. It's borderline cheating, but you know what? I'm all about it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a full-time speedrunner. It's in my blood.
You've lost some respect for me, Dale.
I know. I was just about to ask Wed, What are you thinking about this game? What do you think about Spyro? And actually, I wanted to ask you guys this, is how does this game, in your mind, relate to Spyro 3? How much of the skill like transfers over? How different is it? Does it nothing transfer over? Like, what is that whole deal?
I honestly wouldn't say too much transfers over at all. The movement from the game, like the physics engine, is just so radically different from the first two to the third game. A lot of mechanics are extremely different. And it really just feels like a completely different game. The only thing that manages to stay kind of the same is like the routing aspect.
Yeah,
I mean, you have the same moves.
You do.
Except you can't roll.
Yeah.
Have you rolled yet in the run, Dayo?
Not yet. I will be later on in the run. I'll be sure to point out when we get a roll, we'll get some hype going. Oh God.
Yeah, they removed the roll in Spyro 2 and 3, but that's basically the only difference as for the moveset. Oh, they added the hovers as well.
Yeah, they added hovers
Head
and
bash,
a couple of other
swimming, things like that. But yeah, they changed the physics engine between the first game and the second.
All right,
And-
I'm gonna get controversial here. Do you think the mechanics are better in Spyro 2 and 3 than they are in Spyro 1?
I don't know if we're the right.
You gotta answer the right answer here, all right? I'm the one in the hot seat, all right? If you don't say yes, you're gonna be in big trouble, or no, whatever. You're gonna be in big trouble either way.
I believe they're more interesting and nuanced in the first game.
Yeah.
They're more nuanced in this game, you're
Yes.
saying? Yeah. Yeah, because I think it's a little bit more simplistic. As you guys mentioned, there's like
It's a bit robotic in the next two games. Like if you just play, you don't notice it so much. But if you use like a top-down view to watch Spyro move in those games, it's really like robotic, constant turn rates, etc. This game has drifting, and yeah, that's basically all that's needed in the other two games to make them less robotic. But still, like just that small difference. Just adds a lot.
Since we're talking about like different Spyro games here, I just wanted to like ask you guys as well, like thoughts on like, since you say Spyro 2 and 3 are so different than the original, what are you guys' thoughts about the reignited remaster that came out in 2018? How similar is that to the original trilogy? There's a correct answer and an incorrect answer here, guys.
I guess I'd probably be the better person to bring that up since I was the one that actually ran those. It's honestly, they're probably a bit closer to Spyro 3 specifically, but there's a lot less funky stuff in the way that the original games have. There's still plenty of like glitches and all, but
I would say more so.
Yeah.
Reignited, right? Let's switch.
yeah, most of those end up being like extremely different compared to anything that the original games had to offer.
These games, it's like mind-blowing how solidly built these games are. You look at another game from the late 90s, like Ocarina of Time, and you see just how blown open the speedrun strategies are in a game like that. Another 3D adventure game, right? But this one has no sorts of like memory corruption sort of strategies, arbitrary code execution, pause buffering strategies, like maybe like some very niche cases, but overall, like you see, I'm not doing really anything that could be really considered a glitch in this game. I would go so far as to call this a glitchless category, which to me, it makes it all the more intriguing for a casual player to get into. By the way, that was my favorite boss in the game. His name's Dr. Shemp, and he has size 100 Gucci sandals. If only we could all be so cool as him. Oh, by the way, another like favorite level of mine, if you guys remember this game, Ice Cavern. This is actually one of the largest levels in the entire game in terms of surface area covered. So one of the things that I love, another kind of neat thing about this game for its era, is just take a look at this. I'm gonna take a second or two just to look out. There's the entire level. You go to all that area out there. Like, in a game, think about like Silent Hill 2. It's like fog like 5 feet in front of you, and that's how it was for like every 3D game of my childhood, basically. But
Better not be missing 120 by 2 seconds there.
I know, right? Oh my God, imagine. I would cry. No, but honestly, on the topic of like getting like a really good run, like in a setting like this, I think when you play a game for so many years, I gotta like readjust my glasses 1 sec. When you play a game for so many years, you start to kind of get to a point where you need to be at the full maximum amount of focus, discipline in order to really get good paces, get good runs. You know, you've had 9 years to hone your route. And so how much better can you get it? Some people believe that there is a human limit, but in a game like this that has so many variables in 3D movement, I firmly believe that there is no human limit. The only thing that limits you is yourself when it comes to the like ability you have. you need to be able to focus. You need to be able to completely hone in on every racing line and cut it as closely as possible, but not too much to where you're playing it risky and losing gems. I mean, it's a whole, as I mentioned earlier, art form that I think is just a really beautiful thing in a speed game especially. Now I'm trying to sideswipe these poles right here. You can see I missed one, and you have to like hit these. Again, another example of gems that were probably kind of annoying to figure out casually. It's like, how do you get those? You're like jumping up at them. Now, see, look at that. I wanted that guy's gem to home in, and that kind of shows you guys how precise the flame charges are. I have to get so close to these enemies and flame and charge very quickly in just the right way to get them to home in. Same with this box right here. And you can see just how tightly you can like cut it. Like I played that one safe, you know, but we're talking about the difference of frames that adds up to seconds and minutes over the course of a run.
I'm waiting for the day where flame dislocation is going to start being used real time.
So what he's talking about is a strategy where you can flame and then make the flame. See how the flame kind of like visually went off like the wrong way than it actually like was supposed to go? We call that flame dislocation or flame disassociation. The hitbox always stays in front of Spyro, but visually the artifact may like point the wrong way if you do
It's a little like unintuitive that both the visual and the hitbox are dissociated from Spyro, but in different ways. So you see the visual just goes all over the place. The hitbox also gets dissociated, but not
like
as
that.
wildly. But yeah, this is a strategy used in TASs mostly because it can be used to like start turning earlier when you go for a flame charge in a corner or something like that. And honestly, I think at this point Dayo is not too far from starting to look into using some of them in runs.
Yeah, TAS. Like one strategy I actually sort of borrowed from TASs that is like humanly achievable is using a lot of what's called jump charging, which, you know, jump and charge instead of using this charge jump mechanic where he's like sort of doing a charging jump. By doing jump charges for tight movement, like sort of like that, obviously it was a little sloppy, but by doing a lot of jump charges, you actually cut down the racing lines in between every gem and every possible destination. You see, this game is just a series of destinations. You're just trying to get from this gem to that one, from this point to the next. And so the more you optimize, as I say, the racing lines between those, then the faster of a time you're gonna get. But it's a dangerous balancing act because the harder you go at these sorts of optimizations, the easier it is to miss gems. See, look at that. Now, isn't that crazy? I charged right through that guy. But the reason the gem didn't home in is because I came from too high on his hitbox. So you have to really play at the game's pace. You cannot like try to go too fast. The game will let you go too fast and punish you for it. Another really cool example of like the humanity behind the run that I think is so interesting. Now, we're coming up to the third of 6 homeworlds here. Guys, we're getting through the run, and it's coming to an end pretty quickly, to be honest with you. I'm gonna miss you guys. Nitrof, Wed, it's been quite a journey so far. Well, I'm glad we at least get to have the rest of the game together. So yeah, I just want to tell you guys I love you real quick.
I love you too, babe.
Yeah, but yeah, in this we got some people in the audience sharing their love. In this homeworld, we're going to see the first examples of supercharges. Not in this level, but in the next one. The game really starts to heat up in terms of like just the visual excitement of how fast Spyro moves when he has a sped up charge or supercharge, as we call it. But this first level is mostly cycle based. We're seeing a lot of like enemies kind of controlling platforms, the wizards that go like, wow, wow, wow. All of their cycles are important in how I approach them in order to maximize time save. So while I get through that, let's go ahead and get some more donations going.
You got it. We have a $25 donation from Drake Lake who says, "Hey, Dayoman, your mom was actually the one who introduced me to your streams a few years ago.
All right.
She spoke really proudly of you, telling me about her son who was working hard to get the world record for Spyro. While I only pop into your streams here or there, I thought it would be perfect to make my first donation during your run and wish you nothing but the best. Donation goes to the runner's choice, please."
Thank you. And I'm going to put the choice towards I believe, the perfect dark thing. I forgot what it was. I literally was told the incentives like a second ago, so I was like, yeah, perfect dark. I like that game.
Yeah, actually, good news for you, Dayo, then, because we have met that incentive.
Let's go.
And we have met the following incentive, which was for Ty the Tasmanian Tiger's Rainbow Scale %. So if I may suggest, we have the Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach game that will be tomorrow.
Let's lock it in. Five Nights at Freddy's it is. I'm finna get spooked, y'all. Just keeping it real. Spooked.
That game's really funky. There's a lot of glitches in that game.
If I have time for one
Go
more
ahead.
donation, absolutely. Well, it felt like just a minute ago I was hyping up, getting ready for $120,000, but we have blown way past that thanks to RFM, who donates $5,000.
Wow. Thank you.
Saying, is it GDQ time again? Woohoo! Gonna be super hyped to have watching material for the next few months. Best of luck to all the runners less than 3.
Oh, we love you, for real.
Now, you might have noticed that Dayo seemed to have left a 5 gem behind, but this is probably one of the best examples of the kind of split-second decision you have to make when running this game. He's going to be walking right past that again later. So right after he missed that, like in a split second, he had to make a decision. Do I go back for it right away, or is it better to wait and go back when I'm going to be right at the end of the level?
The answer is not always clear. Usually in this time save difference is, it's really negligible. If I'd have turned around for it, it probably would have been, arguably there is a higher skill ceiling for optimization with that versus this recovery I'm gonna go for at the end of the level. But you start thinking in terms of possible like half-second time saves when you start looking into the nitty-gritty of what makes a run like good strategy routing wise in this game. It's at the end of the day, we're all doing the same general route through the game. I want to make a big point of this. The route for this game, generally speaking, with the exception of some very small, reroutes in little sections. Hold on. Okay, all right, perfect. With the exception of a few like little tiny sections, it's the same route that it's been since 2013. How many video games, how many speedruns out there can you say that haven't had some major big time save or big glitch figured out that totally changes the entire routing of the game, how you go through it from start to finish? You see, in this game, it really shows all the more like time and dedication showing how far we've brought the world record since then. In 2014, the world record was barely just scraping the sub 130s. Oh, nice. But thanks to strategies like this supercharge right here, we're able to, and again, with all the tiny minutia, like little frame time saves, little tiny like jump charging instead to save like a couple frames here, that has brought the time all the way from like low 130 to now a 121.03. Think about that, 9 minutes over the course of an hour and 20-minute run. That is no negligible amount, but it's created from a vast amount, a sea of negligible time saves. I think that's just so insane. It's not just one thing that does it. And speaking of which, about like really precise movement, all these enemies, as you can see, they're quite large, big boned, you might say, and their hitboxes are correspondingly really large. So when I do the flame charge on them, I have to be very careful that I get close enough, but I don't bonk on them. Additionally, this is another level where you can see the enemies are manipulating the cycles of platforms, and I'm gonna be really relying on this movement being good so that I can get a extended supercharge later in the level called Bike Caves. Nitrof, do you want to explain why it's called Bike Caves?
It's kind of rooted in the times of Skype. There's that really funny emote in Skype that's just a guy on a bike, and when this strategy was found, it was when Skype was still kind of popular for chatting among speedrunners, and well, it got the name from that.
Yeah, and this strategy, I haven't done it yet. It's going to be this supercharge coming up right after this room here. So, some very actual serious focus time. This could be a big time save if I hit it. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Not easy. TAS only for like 5+ years, by the way, that strategy. Yeah, I'm not joking, right? Right, Nitro? I'm just saying.
The original name was mostly for any percent in which like missing gem didn't really matter, so it wasn't as much of an issue. But yeah, for 120%, we, like for a long time, we never even considered going down into that cave with supercharge and trying to get those last 2 scarabs, or spiders, however you want to call them. Beetles.
Yeah, most of that's been in place for a while, but it was mostly just like that staircase section right at the beginning that was really daunting for people.
Yeah, again, like back in the days of Skype. When was the last time you guys used Skype? That's when that strategy was found. Like insane. So that's what I'm saying is so cool about this game. There's so much like history to it that I think is just so sick. I mean, and with that said, history that's still like evolving, history that hasn't been like Yeah, a lot of the speed games, they've been around, maybe they have like their own website from like the late 90s, early 2000s. This game, the first recorded speedrun we have of it is by James Bertoli, posted on YouTube all the way back in 2011, and a couple other playthroughs from before it. So it's really cool to see the speedrun history all right before your eyes like that in video form, with the exception of a couple runs here or there. Let's see if I can get this triple kill right here. This is not gonna be an easy one. Nope, I missed it. It's okay, it's okay. Just turn it around, no biggie. Back it up, backing up. And then yeah, the next level is one of my favorites, Wizard Peak. One of my favorite songs in the entire game. And shout out to Stuart Copeland, who really cares about the fans, really listens to us. We love you, Stewie. We love you. I love you. By the way, I'll point out that I'm using this little baby powder bottle right here in order to reduce friction on my thumb when I swipe across the controller. A lot of people, I'm gonna be honest, people kind of make fun of me for that. I've never met anyone else that does that, but if you find yourself doing like, you gotta do what you gotta do to play as fast as possible. That's all I'm saying. And no, my controllers do not get dirty or break because of that, though. One time I did open one after like a year and it like exploded into like a cloud of baby powder. It was quite an experience. Going down here. Again, we're talking about areas of the level that like are not necessarily the most intuitive thing as a casual player. There's one more area that I was supposed to access up there that we're gonna try to get to using what's called a proxy. Now, Nitrof, you wanna tell us a little bit about what is a proxy?
Wow, you want a technical definition or the
I'll give you
one?
I'll give you the basic. Take a look at this. I'll explain this as I do it, then we'll get a more technical definition. Oh, yes. That is not easy, by the way. Thank you. Yeah, so what was happening there, Nitrof?
Right, a proxy is defined as the conservation of speed attained from the a momentary displacement through a state change. Well, that's the definition in Spyro 2 and 3 at least. The short version is he got kind of pushed by the wizard's hitbox while that hitbox was moving, and then managed to conserve that speed. In this game, conserving the speed was as simple as just being in the flop animation, which all happened, in a fraction of a second here.
Yeah, again, like it's like I jump, I charge, I glide, I get flopped, pushed out of an enemy's hitbox, all within like a quarter second. Like it's just insanely how quick some of these strategies happen. You really have to slow it down to really understand what's happening if you're not used to this game. Also, you'll notice with these egg thieves, I wasn't mentioning this before, but these egg thieves, I'm trying to do everything I can to avoid their unskippable animations, which you can use very unintuitive combinations of buttons to do that. When they're grounded, like just, there's no void that I can jump into like the last one. When they're grounded, I have to flame charge jump, circle square X as quickly as possible so that the animation happens essentially in mid-air and thus sort of cancels itself by the time I hit the ground. Something along those lines. That's probably not the technically correct thing. Another thing here is I'm taking advantage of these otherwise really slow turnaround animations, like on that thief. So that way, during an unskippable animation, Spyro is still doing movement that works in my favor.
Nice triple treat.
Thank you. Triple treat, a legendary sprint box.
Impossible strat.
Impossible strategy. And yeah, that's Wizard. That was a very nice Wizard Peak, guys. I'm kind of feeling myself. All right. And now we're coming up to the next big flight level, but before we get, hold on, give me a sec. This is totally intended. Totally intentional, y'all. Before we get into this next flight level here, I'm gonna be doing a really cool trick. The only dragon skip in the game. Check out this dragon right here. I'm gonna try to touch it through the portal. And you can just barely hear it get touched. It's just a beautiful trick right there. The only one of its kind. And let's go ahead and get some donations going.
You got it. We have a $50 donation from Ashlyn, who said, I wanted to donate during this game because not only is Spyro my favorite game series of all time, Konception also has to be my fiance. Hello. Good luck, Dayoman, and I'm rooting for that 120.
Thank you.
And we are seeing a trend of the thank you for releasing me's. I hope you're all happy. We got a $100 donation from Oloven, who says, glad to see everyone back in person and hyped to see Spyro at GDQ. Thank you for releasing me.
Dayo, which one is your favorite dragon?
Favorite dragon? It's probably, God, I always forget their names, dude. But I think his name is Bakari. He's the one that, no, that's not his name, but he's the one that's laying down in Terrace Village.
That's Cyprin.
Cyprin! Oh my God, yes. One of the most legendary Spyro chatters ever, named Axo, made one of the cutest pixel arts of Cyprin laying on his side, looking all cute like, hey, Spyro, what up? He's looking like that, so I admire his chillness. I aspire to be like Cyprin the dragon. But yeah, again, these dragons, like, it's so funny, like, after all these years, there's only 80 dragons in the game. You'd think I'd have memorized all their names at this point, but it really goes to show that when I get to a dragon, it's such a valuable second for me to pause and relax my brain. This is all really intense focus that's required of me. Obviously, talking and playing, I'm not able to play at the highest level, but when I'm on like a really high intensity, like world record pace, that's when I really treasure those moments when I touch a dragon and I get to just look over at the chat for a second and just clear my mind. I mean, it's a really like human speedrunning experience. There's something to be said for the correct amount of downtime in a speedrun that allows you to play at your best. Okay, so we gotta hopefully hit this cycle here with Blowhard. Oh god, oh, that's fine, everything's fine. Yeah, I was going for like a really early strat there. Just if that was for Laura, by the way, but not quite quick enough. But yeah, this is, I would like to point out, by the way, just like there's a boss level in every homeworld, and each of these bosses make like less sense than the last. This guy is literally a tornado hat, is the literal Japanese translation of his name. Hurricane Hat is his name in Japanese. He's a cool guy. I tried to go for a double spring box right there. That's another kind of advent strategy that I've been sort of squeezing into these runs, making something that's already risky and, you know, inconsistent a little bit more like, I don't know if required is the right word, but something that I just like to go for. It's so satisfying, you know, to hit like multiple spring chests at once. Makes me feel like a real gamer. Oh, and speaking of which, no, we didn't get the squish wizard. It's okay. When you hit that wizard just right, he actually gets squished. The cutscene stops all the time. You can see the enemy in the background is like completely stopped. And so during this cutscene, you'd see the wizard squished against the ground, like all cute, but alas, not this time, not this time. Squish wizard, you get away from me, but till next time. And now we're coming at the fourth of 6 homeworlds, Beastmakers. This is where the game really starts to get a little bit more intense with the enemy AI's difficulty. This next level, Terrace Village, I have to be literally perfect in order to hit the correct cycle. Another thing to point out is look at these enemies that kind of electrify the floor. If you touch a dragon at the perfect frame that they electrify a floor, it can actually soft lock the game because they electrify the floor forever. So I'm actually gonna save the game right here, just as a safety strat in case there's any sort of weird soft lock action, which, you know, shouldn't happen, but, you know, marathons like this are ripe for the unexpected to occur. So, you know, we prepare. But yeah, pray for me on these cycles here in Terrace. This is gonna be very tight. If I even have one bonk or one missed flame, I'm gonna be losing 3 or 4 seconds to another cycle. Again, not a huge thing in the grand scheme of things, but added up over the course of a run, it's like real heart-pounding stuff. So Nitrof, Wed, I want to kind of pose some more questions to you guys. Like, what are you guys' thoughts on like this category versus any percent? Like, do you guys feel like there's a huge difference between those two? How does that kind of, what are the categories spread looking like? What is that looking like across the Spyro games? What are the good categories in you guys' mind? And sort of what are the ones that you could kind of skip over? Like, oh, what do you think about the different categories?
Well, my opinion is basically known by everyone who watches me. My favorite is 117%. It's
Spyro 3?
Spyro 3, yeah. It's the 100% category of Spyro 3. I'd say all 3 100% categories are, in my eyes, the better categories of the trilogy. Any percent in this game is actually very unique because of the kind of requirements that you need. In this game, as Deo pointed out earlier, the requirements of the balloonists are like some random number of one of the collectibles. And that means that to finish this game at 100%, all you need is, at any percent, sorry, all you need is 50 dragons, 6,000 gems, and 5 dragon eggs throughout the run. So it's basically like collect as many things as possible, as quickly as possible, but like just leave behind the low value stuff. And the routing gets really interesting because of that. Whereas the any percent in, say, Spyro 2 is only a bus rush.
This is what I was talking about, the infinite pad. Thank goodness I didn't actually destroy the enemy that reactivates it. Otherwise, I would have been soft locked in the level. Can you believe it? On a marathon run? Like, that's like a 1 in like 100 run that happens.
And now enjoy Sparksless movement.
Yes, okay. Wed, can you tell us a little bit about like what's going on with Sparksless here?
So Usually, as you could tell throughout the game, we end up kind of leaning on Sparks a lot in terms of just being able to move fast in the game. Sparks tends to have like a kind of squished oval radius. That's at least the definition Nitrof kind of gave me before, or actually only a day ago.
Fine, everything's fine.
And without that, we just have Spyro's base circle to really collect anything, which means we have to go over and touch every single one of those gems if we have no Sparks, which is pretty slow.
And that looked a bit weird with that movement, but that was entirely intentional. It actually allows Dayo to collect both of those, well, all three of those fireworks crate while taking only 1 damage and without having to wait for them to ignite.
Yeah, unfortunately, I waited just a smidge, not long enough to get the Sparks value to stay green. So we are back to Sparkless once again. This is where the game really gets hard. No matter what level you're at in speedrunning or casual play of this game, you're gonna have to deal with Sparkless movement. And obviously, it's a huge time loss compared to having Sparks who can grab the gems in a radius around you, as Wed mentioned. But learning how to move like this is part of the key, I think, a key skill of what separates a top-level player from another one is that you have recovery. You have a human level of recovery that you can adjust to situations unexpected like this one. You expect the unexpected. It's very samurai kind of stuff. And yeah, another flight level. Let's go ahead and get a few more donations.
Absolutely. We have $200 from Cloverbot, who says, "Thank you for releasing me." $5 from Freelance7, who says, "Thank you for releasing me." $25 from Demanuel, who says, as you might have guessed, "Thank you for releasing me." And $10 from Robert, who switches it up and says, "Thank you for releasing me." No exclamation point that time.
Oh my God.
I know, different. $25 as well from Barry Foxes, who says, "Hey Dayo, good luck on the run. I love to watch you blast through a game that inspired my career. My dog loves your streams and always watches with me. Remember to stay cute, and everyone spam those spinning Spyros in the chat."
Love you, Barry. That level was a complete train wreck, but you could see like how important cycles are. I could have finished that level like 20 seconds faster if I'd have just hit like one of those planes a little bit more quickly. Just again, showing how tiny sort of errors can multiply into like a giant issue. Again, being Sparkless here from just something that's like a human error, I think is, while punishing, it teaches you, I think, a lot of discipline, frankly. A few more donations we might have?
Of course. Jasper the Purple Dragon donates $25 and says, "Good luck on the run, Dayo, from one purple dragon to another. Thanks for releasing me, Spyro." Donation goes to the runner's choice if read on stream.
Nice.
And
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry about that. As I believe it's coming up soon-ish, we have $5 from Indeity, who says, "As a casual player, Treetops has thwarted my 120% attempts for far too long, so I can't wait to see how Dayo destroys it. Also, can we get a $5 hype train going for the best purple dragon of all time? Let's see some Spyro hype!"
Hype! Oh. Hype! Guys, I need you guys' help. Hold on the count of 3, let me get the best hype you got. 1, 2, 3. Hype! There we go. And now, so yeah, as that donation just mentioned, these levels are casually just absolute pain, endless game overs over and over. All of these enemies are completely ruthless. The way these guys sort of home in on you and just chomp you up, and these little frogs that just lick, it's a mess. This whole level is a mess, and as a speedrunner, it's still a mess, because even right here, I have to rely on these frogs, all going into a perfect line like that, but almost, that last one almost did. I have to have a little bit of recovery in order to hit them optimally. Try to get the flame charge on these guys. Again, they're pretty thick, chonky boys, so I have to get super close to them, and they're moving quick too, so look at that. Getting his blue gem from that, there's a missed one right there. You can really see how precise these flame charges are. Every enemy in box that I flame and charge into, it has to have that level of precision.
Those boars are especially troublesome.
Yeah, one of the hardest in the game.
The big thing that really doesn't help in this game is that flame charges definitely vary from enemy to enemy in this game. Us being Nitrof and myself, we don't need to worry about that as much with 2 and 3, because it's just universal for every single enemy how it either works or it doesn't work, and the timing is the same.
Flame charge radius in 2 and 3 is gigantic. It's almost as large as Sparks' own grab range, if not larger. And whereas in this game, you got to be right there, right, like really close to the center of mass of that enemy.
Guys, we're coming up to the island. We're coming up to one of the worst sections of the entire game. If you remember this part, I really need you to just hit me with your blessings. Hit me with the thank you for releasing me. I need them now more than ever. There's going to be approximately a dozen different enemies in a confined room here on this island. Let's see if, oh my goodness, let's see if I can get through, at least with Sparks.
Good start.
At least with my life. Yeah, right, good start. Okay, hold on. Sparksless, but we're still okay. And is there one more? No, we're good.
We live.
We made it. We made it. Not my finest, but we made it. All right, just clean up the last of these gems right here. For some reason, the developers just threw a few extra gems up here, leading kind of to nowhere. Kind of epic. Good game design.
That's the way back to the main level.
Yeah, you can have like a glide to go all the way back, exactly. There you go. You understand the level design of this game better than I do.
As a speedrunner, we kind of grow to not think of that. We just think of the route. Oh, if the route ends there, that's fine. That's the end of the level. But no, the end of the level is supposed to be at the vortex.
Yeah.
A fun little thing back there, right when Dayo ended up exiting the level, you might have seen that there was just a 5-gem sitting there that wasn't there before. That was actually, I'm pretty sure that was the hog.
Yeah.
It just is dead as soon as you come back in.
There's a few cases in this game where, like they put an enemy in front of one of the levels, one of the level portals. When you exit that level, that enemy doesn't spawn, and instead the gem just appears in midair. Which is convenient. We used it here, and we used it earlier in Night Flight, though actually we could have used it in Night Flight if we'd missed that enemy, but Dayo actually got it before the level. I think it's only those 2 levels.
I wouldn't be the one to tell you.
Of the enemies outside the level, yeah. Just a lot of little cute, like little niche scenarios like that. You fly out of a level and the enemy is auto. Like there's a lot of like safeguard mechanics in this game where like if an enemy is like detected to be somewhere it's not supposed to, if it's supposed to be thrown by a boss and it doesn't get thrown, then it automatically disappears and you see all the gems just sitting there as if the enemy was never there at all. So really great sort of QA for a game that, again, from an era, I know I make a big point of this, but this is from an era in games where like, I mean, I don't know. You don't see a game like this solidly built nowadays. And that was an intentional death abuse right there. I'm going to go for a little jump. Oh, very nice. Very nice. I saved 1 second.
Shoutouts to Laura.
Shoutouts to Laura. By the way, Laura's going to be playing any percent at ESA coming up this summer. So hype in the chat for that. Let's go. Love to see Spyro representation across the speed communities. Woo! And here is going to be a really tough, like, little line of boxes. Again, if you hit, like, a box or an enemy from too high, then it won't home in, but it did there. Got very lucky.
Yeah, it was higher than I've seen it.
Yeah, that shouldn't have worked. And now here, this red thief, you might think, oh, man, why are you letting him get away? You can actually even get an early kill on him right there. But we're actually going to save him, oh, God, for a little bit later. Totally intentional movement. And... yeah, it's just like a smidge faster to get them later. Another thing to point out here, ton of like little niche mechanics. Jumping and charging onto the supercharge ramp, it gives you consistently a little bit more speed. You can get that same speed by doing a charge jump onto the ramp, but it's a little bit more consistent this way and allows me to not jump off the end of it. So here I'll be doing the charge jump to get like certain different levels of speed for these various tricks. See if I can get this. Wall bump, very nice, very nice.
Shoutouts to Stone Knot.
Stone Knot, another excellent runner from days past. Actually, Stone Knot's still around.
Yeah, he comes around for bingo.
Oh yeah, bingo. Spyro 2 bingo. You guys remember that? I don't. I never played Spyro 2. So. All right, exiting treetops. By the way, to everyone who had like a childhood that was ruined by those levels, it was very satisfying to do them deathless. I encourage you to learn to speedrun this game, and you too can experience that glory through the power of baby powder. You can do it. I believe in you. Oh, really cool out of bounds right here. Let me see if I can hit it. No, I can't. You have to hit him perfectly into the corner. It's okay. It only saves like a second or two. But yeah, normally when you get squeezed like by an enemy like that, like in a corner against a wall, you get one of those proxies that we were talking about earlier where you get bounced way up high into the air. We're gonna be doing that actually in the next level, Haunted Towers. You're gonna see a really cool wizard squeeze proxy, we would call it. But in this one niche case, and again, it's like kind of a cool example of how like there's always something that breaks the rule. In that particular case, you're pushed so far into the corner that the game chooses not to even end your charge or proxy you at all for whatever reason. I mean, I can't even explain that. Science can't explain that strat. All right, I'm gonna go for a little flame strat right here. Try to hop on this, get this guy. No, okay, that's fine. Recovery. We're good. Yeah, so like all of these like little recoveries they're so simple and benign, but like putting them together into like a big like painting of a run is like what makes this game for me.
I cannot stress enough how difficult this kind of movement is. This is one of the main examples. Like you can be good at the game, but you'll not reach Dayo's level until you've played the game for 7 years straight at least.
Yeah. The true goal is to make it look like you never did screw up to the normal person.
Yeah. You know, and even when I mess up, it's like I still see people like pop into my chat like, dude, it looks like you did that level perfectly and you like lost 10 seconds. And meanwhile in my head, I'm like, oh, I messed this up, I messed that up. You know, it's crazy how your perspective shifts over time the more time you put into something. You start to become your own worst critic, but in reality, you're just going further than anybody else ever has. You just kind of go further than that. And I think that's just a beautiful thing. Even with all the self-loathing that comes with that, I think a lot of speedrunners know what I'm talking about when it comes to like getting a world record and just like, oh, this sucks, I hate this. You know, it's like, that's like part of, in a weird way, yeah, it's like part of the magic of this whole hobby, I think. As weird as that may sound. Okay, glide over. By the way, this glide is super hard to do casually. I noticed that I'm pressing square and then X in order to initiate these glides so that way I can preserve height and speed. A casual player would just press X again in midair and pretty much never make that glide without like a perfect jump and X press. Woo-wee, and we are coming to a close here in Beastmakers. I'm gonna try to catch this cycle here with the electric pads as I come around the keys and the stumps here. Shoutouts to Stump, the volunteer who's been around in the Spyro community for a super long time. It was really great to see you, bud. Love you, Stump. Okay, let's see if I catch this. I'm probably gonna just barely make it. Oh!
Nice.
Sorry, I swear to God I'm not hamming it up. This is like how much I clench when I play the game normally. Oh, jump. Okay, and you gotta barely like push into that wall as you like ascend up it. And I do a noticeable jump charge right there because if you just run into that gem, the game stops time. See how that one is suspended in the air? The game will stop time as Sparks grabs the gem. So you're sitting here looking at this gem face to face like, why can't I grab you? It's one of the most frustrating moments. So always remember to jump into that one. Guys, we're on the second to last homeworld. Can we get some donations going? I'm getting a little sentimental here. I'm gonna miss you guys after this round, I'm not gonna lie.
Absolutely, we can. $500, I should say, comes in from Stump.
Hey!
Absolutely. Stump says, what better time to donate than during the first game and category I ever did a speedrun of? Good luck, Dayo. This goes to Dayo's choice.
Thank you. Five Nights at Freddy's.
That mushroom was really close to messing you up.
God, okay, so do you want to tell me about how that works?
Yeah, so when you touch the dragon, Spyro moves to the target location, but everything else despawns. And the location at which Spyro moves could be like right where that mushroom was. When time resumes, mushrooms comes back, you can get a proxy, you can get thrown off, and the thing is, Dayo was looking for a specific cycle. He was looking to get on top of that rising column before it started rising. And if the mushroom is like just intersecting Spyro in just the wrong way, which like is a very wide area to be fair, he won't make the cycle. We'll have to flame that jester again.
Okay, can we get this? Big trick. Oh yes, oh, so satisfying.
Nice.
Another trick right there. That was the wizard squeeze proxy that was thought really not to be super viable in real-time runs for a while, but you know, so with the help of players like Saboom, really helped sort of, and it's like, it's crazy how like a setup for a trick like that will evolve from like really like taking your time and like making sure you're on like the right part of the thing. And then for me, it's like, it looks like I go straight at it, but all of that movement is so calculated so that Spyro gets spit out of the wind tunnel at the right time. And I did miss that green, but again, last minute recovery, we can grab that a little bit later.
Hard flame charges, can't be blamed for that.
Exactly, yeah, hitting all of those those floating armors. You have to get so close, and it helps to be lower. You know, we're grabbing the gem out of its spawn point when we destroy these enemies, and with these particular enemies, it's harder not because they're not just because they're large, but because their gems spawn a little bit higher up in the air, forcing us to, you know, try to do some like jumping kind of wacky strats to make them more consistent. But yeah, this is like where a lot of the sort of more annoying enemies and strategies, there's a lot of, in the next few levels, there's gonna be a lot of chances for me to kind of make this run go awry, but hopefully we can make it work. And some of you guys might be wondering, with some of these fairies, you get a kiss from the fairy and it turns Spyro red. Well, the one fairy at the top of the tower, like Rapunzel, Fiona from Shrek style, she's the best fairy of them all. And she actually, it's kind of funny, we sort of get her to go into the wall a little bit with the movement, so we like to call her Wally. At least I do. Shout outs to Wally, we love you. And yeah, just moving through the rest of this level right here. Can I pester you for a few more donations? I would love to hear some.
You can pester me anytime, Dad, no worries.
Thank you.
$50 comes in from Desiree, who says, Spyro was one of the first games I ever played as a kid. I've been gaming since I was 3 years old, and this series started it all for me. Been loving this run so far, and donation goes to the runner's choice.
Freddy. Gotta turn around for that.
Yeah, I didn't see the gem at all, which is basically the bad sign. You should have seen the gem spawn and get to Spyro, but we barely heard it in the background touch the ground.
Yeah.
That was confirmation for me.
Yeah, you need to have that sound cue confirmation. I mean, it's one thing to play with like sound off, but you're just gonna miss a lot of gems that way. It's just how it is. But yeah, I mean, you gotta be looking. So I think it makes it interesting as a viewer when you're watching a run like this, because you're looking so closely to see, like, is he gonna miss something? Like, is he gonna notice that he missed that gem? There are times when I miss a gem in this run and I don't even like notice, but someone in my chat or someone watching is like, hey, did you miss that? And by the way, please never say that I missed a gem, because it just stresses me out, guys. I'm already like going through it. Okay, let me see if I can get this wall glide here. Oh, beautiful, yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Well done.
One of the hardest, I would say the hardest wall glide in this category.
It's also like the only strat in the entire run that changes a route.
Yeah, so now because I got that wall glide, the entire level order of this homeworld is completely different. So since we got it in the homeworld, see what I'm saying? All these levels here have to be done like out of order. So it makes the splits really confusing. Imagine being on world record pace and everyone's like, hey, why don't the splits make sense? Hey, what's going on? I gotta like explain. I'm like, shut up, I'm playing, grr. Angry gamer. I'm gonna go for a cool little strat here. Another one invented by Laura. Let's see if we can get this. Oh, okay, we're good. Laura, I swear to God, Laura, you're not getting me this time. Whew. Nearly had a heart attack right there, but we're good.
Good reflex there.
Yes, very scary. Yeah, I do reflexes, right? Like if you're not fully focused, you're gonna just like go off the edge there, like every time. That's why it's a real, like, it's just an intense speed game. Even though the movement itself, as a viewer, you might be thinking like, it looks pretty straightforward. It's like, it's intense. When one thing goes wrong, you gotta be like that to fix it. Yeah, another flight level, another time. This is the last flight level, so let's get some of the cutest donations of them all, please.
Only the cutest, absolutely. $200 comes in from Mist, who says, so glad to see GDQ live again. Can't wait to see my favorite purple dragon, Spyro. Good luck to the runners, and happy birthday, Noah. $100 comes from Mandy, who said, had to donate during Spyro, a childhood favorite of mine. Thank you for running it. SGDQ hype?
Hype.
Thank you for the three of you out there, I appreciate that. $100 comes in from Cody. Cody says, I have been watching GDQ going on for the better part of 8 years now, and I can't tell you enough how much this series has meant to me. I wish every runner the best of luck on their runs and hope everyone out there watching truly enjoys this event and lets the next week of speedrunning shenanigans brighten each and every day. Thanks again, and good luck.
Thank you for those generous donations. Guys, we are coming up on, honestly, I think it's safe to say this is the hardest level of the run for a lot of people, myself included. I'm gonna be trying to go for a dangerous strategy here. It's probably not gonna save time, but I just wanna see if I can get the extended supercharge. I just wanna see if it's possible. I wanna see if the dream is alive here. Normally when I'm
I believe.
You believe? What about you guys in the crowd? You guys believe I can get this strat? You guys have more faith than I do. But yeah, so what I have to do here is clean up this this island early. There's a supercharge much later in the level that can be done, like, I swear to God, there's like maybe 6 different routes that you can do for this level, all with varying degrees of difficulty with the supercharge later on. But you're gonna see a really cool, unique little strat here after this dragon. I'm gonna try to manipulate the arrow shot from the very scary devilish looking Cupids. And I'm gonna try to manipulate the shot so that it hits me a little quicker, and then get up here, maintain the invincibility, and yes, we still maintain sparks, grabbing all those gems out of the fountain right there. By the way, Nitrofski, please remind me to get that red gem right outside. Yeah, thank you, please. Anyone in the chat, you guys can type red gem as well, so that way I remember. I'm not looking at the chat right now, but something tells me we have that like...
Yeah, I'm not sure which of the strat for the extended supercharge you're using, so...
Yeah, no, that one I need to remember.
Okay.
And we're still not at the supercharge yet, but there's, I mean, you could just see there's like still so many like chances for me to just like fall in a pit if I like do a flame charge incorrect. Let me see if I can get this. Oh, beautiful. Nice. I'm sorry, I got a little hyped about that. The crowd's like, wow, this guy's crazy. All right. Okay, so up in this next section, I gotta hopefully, the way you approach this area is gonna tell you the cycle. So I should be on a good cycle here. I can just charge off to get that guy that was floating up. And then once we go up the next wind tunnel, that's when the supercharge starts. So again, Prage in the chat. Shouts to the grandma fairies, dude, the homies. Okay, Bree, there's another focus time moment. Can I get it? No, that was terrible, but it's okay. It's okay, we're gonna continue. Actually, the cool thing is because I think it's fate telling me with that execution is because since I was able to get that big fat balloonist guy early, I can actually do a separate route right here, which is still just as hard, by the way. Oh, get up there. And then hopefully we can get the bump. No, we did not. No hype there, but you know what? It's all right, we're still making it through the level. We still got our lives in one piece. Thank you. Thank you for the for the consolidation. Thank you. My ego remains in one piece. Thank you. But yeah, so this part right here, Turkey Island, so annoying. You can see just how like easy it is for these turkeys to dodge you. In Vortex, the other category I was talking about earlier, you actually use those turkeys to levitate you up to this return home vortex right here. So because of the route that I chose, I now have to do some awkward backtracking because I wasn't able to bounce up there early. So let's do this turn right here. Please make this. Okay, I think we're good. And again, like one missed input here, which by the way can happen due to lag spikes in this level. One missed input is, there you go. There goes like 30 seconds, you know, death in the void, basically. Now, red gem.
Red gem.
Yeah, I heard you. I heard Nitro. I'm like, okay, and then clean up the rest of the level and we should be good. Again, now you guys see this lofty and in my mind it's like, oh, this was a terrible lofty, you know, do. But for a casual player, for someone who's like new to the speedrun of this game, or someone that's even seasoned, this is like the best lofty you could ask for. So really to show like the perspective difference and like levels of skill in this game, I think it's just crazy. For me, like, oh, terrible lofty, but like, I don't know, it was actually pretty good if you think about it.
Special shout outs to Red Spring Chest.
Oh yes, yes, do we have any Red Spring Chest fans here? Where are you guys at? The only one in the entire game was in that level, we just got it, unceremoniously.
Shoutouts to Latif.
Queen Latif. Latif has a crazy crash that can happen on him. If you flame the firework chest and then touch Latif at the exact right moment, then the game will crash. It tries to like load the explosion and the dragon at the same time. Other crazy things that can happen on dragons is you can get a loud test beep that happens sometimes for no reason. The sound, this game isn't very buggy, but the sound pointer that tells you like what like song plays in a level basically when you enter it, that is kind of buggy. So like sometimes you'll get weird like test noises or like weirdly like louder enemy noises, just stuff that's just like kind of some spooky creepypasta stuff. So if you heard anything weird as a kid in this game, don't worry, you're not alone. It haunts me in my dreams too. Okay, so here we have the devil doggies. Now these guys you have to be super careful with, like that flame I just went for right there. You gotta make sure you're flaming these little lighthouse guys. get up here. And now we want to actually manipulate these dogs to run towards us, but that the little jester behind them makes them go small again at the perfect time. Beautiful.
I don't understand that strat.
And now secret area right here. Beautiful. This is where the level really begins. Double flame charge. Oh, barely missing it, but give me the double chest. Yes. Oh, a little sloppy. I'll take it. Grab that out the air. Again, you can see how long... Oh, did I get that other red nitro?
Yeah.
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see how long it takes for gems to like fly out of the air and land on Spyro when they don't home in. In that case, you couldn't do anything about that. There are some gems you just have to wait for them to fly out of the air, but to just show like a visual difference between a gem homing in and not, and how precise it is to cause that to happen sometimes is really kind of mind-boggling. It adds to the sort of element that there is no real human ceiling to this game. For example, again, an example of this is look at the way these gems fly out. They could fly out in a perfect, yeah, that was like very nice gems right there, but that green can go all the way out to left field, and this one goes to New York, and that one goes here, and it's just like, it's just terrible, because like, imagine you're on a pace, and you just run past one, you just feel like an idiot. Okay, oh, another example of gem RNG here. That gem spouted out perfectly, so it went outside of the enemy's hitbox. I could grab it. So many, like, you can see how many tiny luck factors have to come together to make a level like this go well.
Not to mention, this level is like, it's only second to, what's it called?
Lofty?
Misty Bog, as far as the strength of the enemies, how annoying they are to deal with. Just those turtles that spit fireballs, like, if you approach them too directly, they're going to shoot you, and there's not much you can do about them other than, go a little further around and try to deal with it. But Dayo makes it look easy, obviously. But as someone who's run this game, I can say that I can never go through this level without taking at least one hit.
This level is just such an example of like, you have to be ready for everything to go wrong, basically. Like the little firework chest I blew up right there, pardon me, like the firework I set off, you have to hit that such like the right way or else you'll miss it and have to run through the whole level. And like you're saying with the turtles, you have to hit them in just the right way or else they're gonna hit you and lose your time. And it's like you sort of, with time and speedrunning, all these like little mistakes that keep happening to you over and over, you learn to adjust to them, and you turn those like otherwise annoying parts of the game into your strength through just preparedness. Speedrunning is just all about preparedness.
You already went there.
Oh no, yeah. I did the wrong route, thank you. But yeah, so I was not prepared there, as you guys can tell. It's okay, fly around. It's only my ego. But yeah, so just being prepared for stuff, I think is just like, that's all it is. I don't really think there's anything like, I don't think talent exists in speedrunning. I don't think like having natural skill at a game really exists. I think the only thing that's natural about speedrunning is that you love a game and that you want to like get better at it. So the difference between a world record holder, look at any game, any speed game out there, and the difference between the world record holder and second, third place and so on is the amount of time they put into it. There's no coincidence there. It's not like a natural, you might look at this and be like, I could never do that. It's like, you can, believe it or not. And it might not take you 9 years like it did for me. I really don't think it should.
Dayo is a perfect example of perseverance and putting the time to achieve this. Like, he's worked very hard for this record and surpassed everyone before him in time, and look at him now.
I'm on the big stage, Nitrof. We did it.
I'm proud of you.
Oh my God, thank you. Oh my God. You guys don't know how much that means to me. What? What did that guy say? That's what I heard. Okay.
I think that's about right.
Yep, perfect translation. Okay, we're hopping down here. So we killed the final boss. Oh, rest in peace, final boss of the game, Jock in the Bach. Grabbing this dragon on the other side. One thing I didn't mention is you'll notice I go around dragons to touch them in certain areas because Spyro runs to a spot no matter what when you hit a dragon. So you have to know every spot that Spyro runs to for all 80 dragons and touch them as close to that spot as possible to save time. Good recovery right there. I was hoping to, whoa. Oh, okay, yeah, that, all according to plan. Yeah, basically like the level of recovery is like, I can't even keep up with like my own gameplay. That's like the little tiny recoveries that are happening here. Now, one of those little gestures right there, brought this platform here down. Hopefully I catch it in time. Beautiful, just in time. And yeah, there's an even harder strat there found once again by the legendary Wally. Not the fairy, but the gamer. And you can actually get up on that. Oh, you can get up on that early, but enough nerding out. Let's close this out. Let's see if we can get the quadruple duple here. That's not the actual name for it. I kind of just made that up right now. Oh, do I need that? Okay, no, I don't. This is where it's really important to manage your lives because on the final boss, there's a trick that saves time if you game over on it, believe it or not. We'll explain that when we get there. And now let's see if I can hit this triple. No, that's fine. Oh, come on. Beautiful.
Nice triple.
Thank you. Thank you. Guys, that is the end of Dreamweavers, the 5th and final real homeworld of the game. The final homeworld coming up here, Nasty's World, is basically a gauntlet of 4 levels, the 3rd of which being the final boss, each one of them more annoying than the last. Yeah, so please, if ever you're gonna type thank you for releasing me, or a little praise, or perhaps like a cute chat message right now, I need your hype for this section of the game. Yes! That's the GDQ I know, some hypers. Okay. Any more donations we have?
Oh yes, absolutely. Tier Bug donates $25 saying, love Dayoman and love Spyro. Show Ganasty Gnork, who's boss? Happy SGDQ. And as requested, Anonymous donates $100 with a simple message. Cute chat.
Cute chat.
Cute chat.
$50 comes from Bakari the Dragon, who says, you know, I think you just might be the dragon to defeat Nasty Nork and beat this 120% run.
This literal text.
Little tangent here. Shoutouts to Dayo's chat. It's always the most active thing when he rates me. Like, I get rated sometimes, and like there's a couple messages. I get rated by Dayo. There's emotes all over the place. Like, really cool energy those guys have.
Thanks, Nitrof. You hear that? He likes you guys, man. He loves us. I'm sorry,
They're intimidating.
They're pretty scary. They're buff and cute. like every Spyro fan. Just completely intimidating. All right, guys, let's get back to the game here. Let's get serious. We're gonna go for a trick here called TNT Trick. TNT Teamwork. This one's Trick.
This is TN Trick.
Yeah, I always mix them up. And as you can see, I blew up the chest right behind there. Barely enough space to push the explosion from that TNT forward. Not an easy trick. Kind of a little random, dare I say. A bit of a coin flip moment. Fly around this to hopefully catch this guy before he hits me with the TNT. We don't want to accidentally light that TNT, otherwise we'll have to wait for it to explode before we continue. A little jump charge right there. Little task optimization. Human task confirmed. And then get through this. Hopefully this guy's on the right cycle. He was not on the right cycle, unfortunately, costing me a couple seconds here. Yeah, not task confirmed. Here's some. I want to listen to this guy just for a moment. Wow. Okay, that's it. Wow. Thank you.
Wow.
Actually, I do unironically love that dragon. He shows up one or two other times throughout the game near the beginning where he's like, you'll never get to Nasty Nork, basically. Like, aren't you afraid? And then you get to this level, he's like, wow, like you did it. I guess I did, Tomas. Yes, I did.
A little bit of lore. All the dragons you free in this world are repeat dragons. They're dragons that you rescued, tried to get to Nasty's world ahead of you, and got captured again. And also a little fun fact about that. If Dayo does everything right, there's one of those dragons you'll actually rescue 3 times, Delbin, which is kind of a hint at the dragon dupe glitch that exists here. But yeah, the credit skip glitch he's going to be doing later is going to make Delbin spawn 1/3 time in Nork's Nexus.
Do you guys think I can get credit skip first try? Be honest. Yeah? You think I can do it? I don't know, guys. The CRT, you know, it's not as good as the one I have at home. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't make excuses.
I'm just making excuses here. I'm just making excuses. No, honestly, and big shout outs to the GDQ staff for being the most accommodating people, having the best tech setup, the best sound people, the best donation readers, and the best audience of them all. I love you guys. All right, guys, and we're finally at one of the best levels. This level is called Twilight Harbor, AKA Guns in a Kids Game? Question mark? A rated E? Oh my goodness. Shield your eyes.
They shoot Doritos.
Yeah, it's okay because they shoot delicious seasoned tortilla chips, so it's fine.
Could be the remasters. They shoot gum.
Oh, dude, it's so sad. Don't make me think about the remaster right now, man. Nightmares. Splatoon. Okay, so here we're really starting to delineate the route here. We go across the left side of the ramp, and we want to collect the other gems with a supercharge after going over the roof later. So this is the last example of kind of a crazy supercharge route here coming up after this little bridge. Oh, and check this out. You can actually manipulate the supercharge to start early. Well, you can see a little speed boost there, but you can get the supercharge to start there. Anyways, we're going to get up here, and then last kind of focus time. Well, I guess except for credit skip, little focus moment here. Let's see if I can hit this charge. I love the music, by the way. Okay, nice, got all three, beautiful. Turn it around several times to make sure you get all the gems. Nice, only had to turn around once. Oh, I think I missed one of those reds, that's okay.
Yeah, you did.
That's okay. We can grab it later, recovery. Come back up here to finish up the last of the gems. We got the yellow up there, now we just grab that red, and we are donezo. We death abuse our way to the last dragon we collected, which is further up in the level.
Being on 0 lives is important here.
Carefully, as like I mentioned in Jock, we're carefully managing the life count at this point. Watch out for this guy. We do not want to take damage here. It's going to make the credit skip trick coming up even more difficult. So, I mean, think about it, dude. 0 lives, world record pace. Oh, God. We're fine. Everything's fine. I flanked him. God tier military strategy. And so, yeah, this is just like a very tight moment of the game. Any one of those enemies hits you, you're getting knocked back. You're probably going into the lava. It's a tightrope all the way to the end. I think that's another hallmark of a really great speedrun is it just gets more and more intense all the way up to the end.
So for credit skip coming up, there's a few requirements. You need to, 1, kill Nasty, otherwise you won't finish the game. You need to 2, death abuse while you kill Nasty, which is easy to achieve normally, but you need to also get all the gems, which takes a little bit of time. So what Dayo is going to try to do is set up a little bit of an out of bounds and flame Nasty from the bottom of the map so that he, Nasty dies. Spyro keeps gliding towards a little bit of out of bounds lava that sticks out and dies in that pool. Sounds very complicated. It's going to
look complicated.
It's going to look complicated. It's going to go by very quickly, though.
Yeah, hopefully we can put a bow on this run, y'all. Hopefully we can make it happen on the big man himself. Yeah, woo! That's what I'm saying. Again, being really careful now at this point. We have to catch... Oh, God, this is dangerous now, y'all. We have to catch Nasty before he gets to the end, or before he runs away from his little platform here. It'll be very embarrassing if I have to do a second lap of Nasty in front of a bajillion people right now. But you know what? I'm ready to take that fall for you guys if I have to. Something tells me we'll be able to get him. What was that? I have headphones. I wish I could hear you guys. Thank you. I love you.
Ooh, that was
Ooh,
really good
the push? I'm sorry. It's rare. It's rare.
I've never seen it go into the doorway.
Okay, coming up on the trick here. No! Jesus! I missed it. I missed it, guys. We'll try it again. It's fine. Don't worry. I'm well underestimated, guys. We got this. We got this. Oh, my heart. Yeah, so I actually got a really common thing which happens there. If you're a little too high, you actually get like pushed out by the corner of the map right there. What I was trying to do is flame Nasty from underneath, as Nitrof mentioned, and if I can do that while flying into the lava, I'll get all of the gems from Nasty while triggering the credits, but also when I hit the lava, it'll sort of skip the credits because the death, the respawn from that overrides the credits, basically. Then we get to hang out with Nasty again. What up, Nasty? Dude, hey, any more donations we can get in?
Absolutely. Bree Berry donates $10 saying, last SGDQ was my first one and I absolutely loved Dayoman. It's so exciting to see him here again and to see the live crowd. Good luck to everyone and let's get those donos, cute chat.
Cute chat.
Love you guys. Will I be able to channel the energy of the cute chat? Oh, well, okay, I'm not taking that, hold on. Wait, on the fourth shot, he resets, so just wait it. No, I'm just gonna take the normal credits here. But if you guys hype up at the end of the run, I'll show you the trick afterwards. Does that sound good? Is that a deal? Can we take that? Let's go. And the cool thing now, it's actually kind of cool now because I can show you guys a super kind of controversial strategy that Nitrof is already like, he's crying in his seat right now. When these credits start, I'm going to boom, 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 open the disc tray for literal hardware manipulation to make the credits end more quickly. It is allowed on the leaderboards because the actual trick itself that I was going for saves a solid amount of time over that. And so it kind of like bridges the gap of accessibility with the game. So let me go ahead and open up my disc tray right here. And yeah, my PS2 is now open. And you'll see the credits start to deload.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna close it when it gets to the thing. So once it goes black, give it a sec. The credits are starting to get a little confused right now. Give them a sec. And then on returning home, I close the tray. Damn, I could hear that like resonate through the whole. All right, and then once it loads, then we're good. Is it gonna load? Okay, there we go. Whew. Oh my God, that a heart attack right there. But yeah, so you'll see this dragon right here. His name's Magnus. It's kind of a cool like little learning experience. This dragon's name's Magnus, and if you get the trick, which I'm definitely gonna go and get since I'll be within estimate. By the way, what time are we at right now with this run?
1:26:35 at the moment.
Okay, that's perfect. We should be just like a minute over estimate, so we'll see. If you guys want, I'll show you a little credit skip if you want. If you want, if there's time, if it allows. But yeah, this is the final level of the game, guys. Nasty's Loot. This is like one of the coolest levels because Spyro can finally fly. After all of this time, we've been working so hard to get here. And now Spyro can finally do what he was meant to. It's so beautiful. But yeah.
Until the next game.
Yeah, until the next game where you can just fly again. But it's cool. And yeah, another cool thing about this level, every gem is like one of the high value ones. So there's like literally 2,000 values worth of gems in this level. So yeah. I'm gonna try to see if I can get the early firework here. Nice, I missed it, it's okay. And yeah, at this point, this is when like the dance party breaks out in the chat room. It's like, oh yeah, here we go. Everyone spams the Ned Flanders dancing diddles like Frank Face Z emo, or what is it, BTTV? Dude, you can get actually such a crazy time save right there. It's like near frame perfect. If you flame and then open that door right there, you can actually hit that guy early. But we're gonna do another strat using sound cues. I'll let him go a little too far forward there, but that's okay. Yeah. Down. Oh, bangers though, let's be honest. Oh my goodness. We got him. As you can imagine, not the easiest quick kill there with that second plane.
Especially on really good pace.
Yeah, this is a really good, guys, this might world record. I mean, I don't mean to get you too excited here. I'm just kidding, no it won't. I just wanted to say that. I don't know, it's not over yet. Okay, little flop that preserves momentum so that we can get the high fly right there, pretty cool. And now I'm gonna flame these and not do this Sparksless as much as Gazco would love that. Would you believe that 2 gems in this room prevented me from getting my goal time in this game a couple days ago? As you can tell, I mentioned that a few times. Still a little salty about it. 14,000, that's everything. Get ready for time and time. Woo, Spyro hype. We love Spyro. We love GDQ. Hype. So guys, that was Spyro the Dragon, 120%. And Fezzy, get up here on the stage, man. We need the Spyro here. This guy, Fezzy, yes, some applause for the real life Spyro. This man wore the Spyro outfit on Chris's run all the way back all the way back in 2016. And oh my God, he's got the glasses and everything. I wore it on Chris's run in 2020, and now he's finally here in full circle tradition. The Spyro hype lives forever, and I just want to say thank you guys for letting me play this game. If we have time, I'd love to show off credit skip. Do we have a minute? We do not. So guys, thank you for joining me. I love you very much, and have a great rest of the marathon. Peace.
Thank you so much, Dayo, for that incredible showcase. Can we give it one more for Dayo, please? Let's go. The absolute comfiest Spyro runner you'll ever see. We still have a couple leftover Spyro donations showing the love. $25 from Sam G, who says, what I love about this run so far is Dayoman and how excited he is about the game he is playing. Love the energy, Dayo. Runner's choice. For now, let's all take a nice little comfy break, collect any missing gems that you might have, and we'll see you on the other side in one moment. Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2022, powered by Twitch. Want to get in one more lovely comment in relation to Dayoman's Spyro run. We have $50 from Marn, who says, the original Spyro game was a huge part of my childhood and is still one of my favorites to this day. Watching this run with Dayoman's amazing commentary has been a great time, and I'm glad to see it helping to kick off SGDQ. Everyone, I'm very happy to share some very important words from what we're here raising money for, Doctors Without Borders.
Since 1971, Doctors Without Borders, or Médecins Sans Frontières, has been providing healthcare to vulnerable people all around the world.
Our daily work is a struggle. It is intensely medical and it's intensely personal.
Amid disasters, epidemics, or conflicts, our teams are there, providing treatment to anyone who needs it. We go where the need is greatest.
We do the work for MSF because we want to serve the people.
Whether it's triage, surgery, childbirth, vaccinations, mental health, or chronic diseases, we put patients' needs first. We campaign for medicines to be available, affordable, and effective for the people we treat. We respond to medical emergencies worldwide. We're only able to do that because of support from people like you. Join us to help those who need it most. We are Doctors Without Borders.
All right, it's obviously so important to realize what it is that we're doing here, of course, raising funds for Doctors Without Borders, so thank you so much for that message. We have a $5 donation from Jonid Crushfire, who said, let's get more GDQ. Putting this towards the FNAF run. Thank you, GDQ. Thank you, runners. Thank you, donors. And thank you, Gaming World, for being the kind of community that can make this possible. GL to all the runners. And that is a nice reminder. We do have that bonus game open 5 nights at Freddy's Security Breach, currently sitting at $5,300 out of $90,000. So let's get that met. For now, though, I believe we are ready over at the interview booth with Keizaron and Sent potentially interviewing our Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back runner, Potty. So go ahead and take it away.
Hello, SGDQ 2022. I can't get over the fact that I get to actually look at a camera and say hi to everyone in the crowd. I'm Keizaron. I'm joined by Potty. Potty, I want to start this off hot and fast. This is your first for like everything.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep, 100%.
Like, first time flying to get here. First time in a marathon at all. Like, how are you feeling about that?
I mean, I want to start small by going to GDQ.
Yes, small, yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, so the whole experience has been great. Like, you know, I just flew out this morning actually, and yeah, came here and like got to meet like everyone I've talked to for like 2 years now. So being able to play for you guys is just like dream come true, really. Awesome.
Now, what got you into, for lack of better words, just playing games fast?
Playing games fast. It's actually from GDQ. I believe it was SGDQ 2019. There was a 3-way Crash 3 race, the Insane Trilogy.
Oh, Hobbs inspired you? No, I don't want this interview anymore.
Yeah, Hobbs, Marquez, Cameron Vengeance, and I literally, it was like by chance. I went to sleep with GDQ on, and I woke up, and it just started. And I sat up, and I was so like inspired, and I literally just met like Marquez and Hobbs today, and it was just like crazy.
Now, you do mention NST, and you know, for those at home who didn't hear, it's Insane Trilogy.
Yeah.
But you're doing OG Crash 2.
Yes.
So what got you to shift from NST to OG? I mean, you are a top tier NST player.
Yeah,
You've had records all over the place, and now you kind of scaled back to OG. So what's...
So basically, I started off with the Insane Trilogy from that GDQ run, and then after that, the original Crash 2 PS1, it's like my favorite like PS1 game like, by far. So, but to run it, it's like you need like the PAL version and stuff, and I'm like a 17-year-old in America. Like I just didn't want to deal with that. So I was just like, remake is the next best thing, and then I eventually transitioned over. Once I got like top level in the remakes, I got bored, and I was like, yeah, let's do this. Like this is way better.
So talented that you get bored of your main speed.
Yeah.
You just pick up an ultimate
tragedy.
version. So you're doing the 100% category.
Yes.
What is unique about this category in terms of tech, in terms of tricks, compared to just doing a regular any percent or a go run?
So there are some specific areas we access. Obviously, there's like the bonus rounds, and it's like, oh, it's a bonus. No, it's extremely difficult, most of them. So it's like you got to do that, and
most of the secret exits, you get like 1 in the any percents, whatever. But in 100, you got to get all of them. So that's pretty neat. I mean, you get to show off everything. Like some people have probably played this game like their whole life and don't know everything in it. So I'm really excited to like show off everything.
Is there any like funky routing because you are doing like the extra levels and stuff?
I wouldn't call it funky. It is pretty linear because 5 levels each hub. You just go through them. There's like secrets that you do later on, but there's nothing crazy really. No, it's just pretty by the books.
Now, comparatively speaking, NST's Crash 2 compared to the OG Crash 2, what do you prefer one over the other?
Oh,
like in terms,
man.
like I don't know, like is there a trick that's better? Is there a boss that you like fighting better?
The Insane Trilogy, the bosses they are busted. They do not work properly, but I think that's because of like some PC porting stuff. But the original has the advantage in like the creativity and whatnot, but the remake is a lot more consistent. Like you will get what you want if you practice, you put it in. But the original, you tend to falter. Like you can have sections where it's just like, there's nothing I can do. Like I'm dead, So yeah.
Now, the Crash 2 run is starting in about an hour and 10-ish minutes. I can't math, but you know who can math? Sent, I think. And I think he's yonder somewhere. I don't.
Yeah.
Sent, where are you?
Hey, Keys. How you doing?
You've been in front of me the whole time.
Oh, yeah. This is the great place to get advantage of the stream. Also a great place to talk about some prizes. We got some good ones, Keys.
I'm excited.
Yeah, can I interest you in this lovely Pikachu amigurumi sent to us
You
by...
absolutely can.
Yeah, Chaos Crochet Shop, $10 minimum donation. Super great. It goes lovely with this adorable crocheted Ditto Chew. It's like a Pikachu. Or is it? That's a question for you and you alone to decide. $20 minimum donation. And all of these prizes I'm talking about are available until the end of that Crash 2 run, so make sure to get your donations in. I'm just going to tell you up front right now, $50 minimum donation is going to get you entered into everything that I'm about to talk about here. From our good friend Puzzle Pete, $10 minimum donation, we have this lovely Kirby mandala painting. Look at it, absolutely adorable. We've got the repeating symmetrical Kirby pattern, and of course, a lovely application of glitter in the Puzzle Pete style. Thank you so much, Pete, for sending that out. From Jeff Akers, we have an absolutely super cool Spyro the Dragon Perler painting, combination of acrylic on canvas painting and a Spyro Perler. Super cool mixed media piece. How can you hate it? From the Purple Bug, we have a lovely set of Pokemon-themed handbags here. Gonna have to sit up for these. We've got a larger Bulbasaur and Eevee-themed one, as well as a smaller one that fits right inside for your convenience. Now,
You're just surrounded by prizes.
I'm surrounded by prizes. We have this absolutely incredible Sleepy Kirby quilt. We were talking earlier about how sleep is the best Kirby power. Let me show you an ability you didn't know was in the game. You see, with sleep, you can make Keizaron disappear.
Thank God.
There
No,
you-
no!
The audience loves it for sure. And last but not least, from our good friend Sky Berkson, we have an incredible replica of the Pokemon Snap 01, the transport vehicle, made almost entirely of paper. I believe the framing of it is bronze. And
It looks great, Stan.
the base of it is foam, but like everything else on this is apparently somehow paper. I don't understand how. I'm not an artist, but I know that this is genuinely incredible. $50 minimum donation. Huge shout outs to Sky for sending it out to us. Now, Keys, sorry, if you'll let me have that back.
Aw.
I'm gonna settle in for the night. But you all don't go anywhere because we've got plenty of GDQ left, and you can head over to gamesdonequick.com to check out all of the upcoming speedruns in the marathon, all the upcoming incentives you can put your donations towards, and of course, all of the amazing prizes you could win.
Oh, so he's actually sleeping. Very good.
Yeah, good night.
Stay up. There's a lot of good runs coming up.
Well, sleep looked a lot different in my Kirby playthrough, but I do appreciate showcasing those prizes, and what a wonderful interview, of course, with Keizaron and Potty as well. You know, Sent mentioned something very important there, which is, of course, our upcoming incentives and bid wars that we have open. I'd like to highlight a very special one for an upcoming run called Warden, Melody of Undergrowth. That's going to be run by Jaxler. And right now, there is an open bid war for choosing the final boss. Currently, Nyona has $165, and Emperor is just that smidge behind with $115. So your donations can go quite a long way if you'd like to impact that run in a significant way. So go ahead and get your donations in. Just like John Charles Holmes did, who donates $10 saying, wow, taking a late night break from running the Yeti booth to see some runs and having a great time at my first ever in-person GDQ. It's been awesome meeting runners, attendees, announcers, and staff, and just want to give a shout out to everyone for being so awesome. Let's go, gang. Yeehaw! We're getting a little bit of hype coming up for this upcoming Perfect Dark run as well. Hobbs Noob donated $10 and said, can't wait for some Perfect Dark. Can I get an impersonation of the Perfect Dark line? Why me? Hope I did that justice. We'll have to confirm once we are ready for that run. But for now, Anonymous comes through with $50 saying, thanks to all the event organizers, runners, and Doctors Without Borders for continuing to have this event every year. It's always a treat to watch and great to donate for a good cause. Good luck to all the runners throughout the week. You know, thank you so much for bringing it up, Anonymous, because Doctors Without Borders does a lot of wonderful stuff. If you're unfamiliar, Doctors Without Borders, or MSF, is an international medical humanitarian aid organization that works in over 70 countries around the world, providing life-saving medical humanitarian care and speaking about what they see in those areas. Their work aids people based solely on need, irrespective of race, religion, gender, or political affiliation. MSF relies mainly on the generosity of individual donors, as over 90% of MSF income comes from private donors giving small amounts, just like all of you wonderful donators out there. Little leftover cuteness from that Spyro run, of course, with Mere Tree donating $50, saying cuteness overload. Nothing wrong with the cuteness overload, in my opinion. Nux Tenma gives us a very important reminder with their $50 saying more bonus games equals more GDQ. And that's correct. We still have Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach open, currently sitting at about $6,400 out of the $90,000 necessary to make that run happen tomorrow. So let's get some donations in and let's extend this marathon a little farther. You know, it's a little after 11 o'clock here in Minneapolis, and we're getting some late night love where people are donating, talking about maybe altering their sleep schedules a little bit for this hype event. We have $50 from the Lemon Fairy, who says, my first of many donations this week. I took the week off work so I could mess up my sleep schedule, catching as many runs as possible. Thank you to everyone who worked hard to bring this event back in person safely. Hype! Leonidas MMII donated $100 as well, saying, very excited for the rest of the marathon, and depending on the internet connection, you guys will be having me listening till 2 a.m. at work. Thank you for running this event and raising such incredible amounts for charity. Pika, with an exclamation point, donated $25 and saying, it's my first time watching SGDQ with my girlfriend of 6 years. Our anniversary is in a couple of days, and we're excited about celebrating with some speedruns. Good luck to all the streamers, and have fun, everyone. And that sounds like an excellent way to celebrate an anniversary to me. With that being said, it is time. It is time to get our Perfect Dark on, and we are ready. So Perfect Dark by 0_IF, take it away.